What's going on, everybody? Hey, hey, hey. What's going on, everybody? What's the word, people? Oh, shit. What is the word, man? Friday. We done made it. Another day. Another day. Made it to the weekend. How y'all doing? How y'all week go? My week went all right. My week was smooth. A certain a certain somebody it took been taking me through some ups and downs. I ain't the one to name names, but yeah, man. Don't I'm telling y'all, man, it's rough out here. It's rough out here when you a gentleman and a scholar and you just want to plant apple seeds and just watch the world just grow into a better place. You know what I mean? They try to make it hard for you. So, but we ain't gonna let that hold us down though, right? Right? Right. Hey man, what's up with y'all, man? So, I've been tripping lately. Hold on. Stop what you doing. Stop what you doing. K in the building, day to day. What's going on, Kia? How you doing? I miss you, man. I ain't get. Did I have you on this week? Was that Monday you was here? I don't remember. I gotta get you back on here though, man. You know it's always better when you come through and we be clowning, coming up with them good topics. But yeah, then I had two on last week. Uh, but all my moderators for real, I ain't just picked some people I met on YouTube. They really the people I will really have blah blah moderate your ass. You know what I'm saying? I was just talking crazy, man. But nah, for real though. So what I've been tripping off is I had made a status on Facebook and my status was basically like it's good to know that judging from everything that been happening lately with these so-called billionaires and geniuses and all that I'm happy that I got more common sense than a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like we done watched Kanye West lose his net worth like over 3/4 of it in a week. Mark Zuckerberg loses $700 billion. So I was tripping about Kanye losing 100, and now look, I see why he was mad and why he called Mark Zuckerberg when he was talking about he was in debt. Cause Kanye like, bro, I'm playing with a billion dudes. You over here losing 700 billion like it's lunch money. Can y'all think about that? Can y'all think about one dude? One dude probably ain't even his Mark Zuckerberg in his 40s. He probably in his 40s by now. I don't know. Okay, check it out for me if you can. Mark Zuckerberg age. But I know he not in his 50s yet. And he a millionaire. He gotta be close to being a trillionaire if he not if he was able to lose $700. $700 billion. I wish I had, man, look. Give me just give me a million, Mark Zuckerberg. Matter of fact, just give me 700,000. If you got $700 billion, 700,000 to you is like a dollar, literally. That's probably like not even $10. It's like $5. Can you imagine that? It let you know the world just all out of whack, man. We got some people out here starving. Mark Zuckerberg is 38 years old. He younger than me. He younger than me. I know I look good for my age, right? But I'm 39. I still got my side tooth. You see it? Both sides. Side tooth gang. But I'm saying he younger than me though. He don't look younger than me, but nah, he younger than me. And the nigga lost $700 billion, right? So we gonna look more into that. That's definitely a topic of discussion because I got something to say about that too. It ain't just the losing of the money. I actually got something to say about that. It's bigger implications to that. To one person. Kid said, side teeth in the building. Nah, but I'm just talking shit, man. Shout out to everybody who ain't got their side tooth. Mickey, don't look at me. Look this way. Look that way, cause I got my side tooth. Hold up. We gotta have him standing like that. Cause he like, what's this side tooth discussion? MICKEY. Nah, but so we gonna talk about that. It's a bigger implication to somebody losing $700 billion like it ain't nothing. We got a problem with capitalism that I mean, I guess as long as we distracted, we not really gonna think about it like that. But we got a problem with capitalism if when it get to that point like that. Which bring me to the next topic I'm on. Another billionaire, trillionaire, I don't know. Um, but the way they was talking about it though on the clip I'ma show y'all today, I think it's being questioned because I'm talking about Elon Musk. But it's being questioned whether dude really got the money that he say he got, because it's coming out, man, that Elon Musk don't know what the hell he doing. I don't know if y'all know a lot about Elon Musk. He tries to self-style himself as some type of real life Tony Stark or something like that. But Elon Musk's parents was he's South African, and his parents was some apartheid, South African rich white folks from back in the when they had the apartheid. If you don't know about that, look it up. You know, but nah, so don't get too caught up in where these folks got their money or that the fact that they got money. You gotta look at it is how they got the money. But we gonna dissect all that though. It's all gonna get done. It's all gonna get done. But before we do that, what we gotta do first and foremost, man. We gotta start this thing out with some music, so everybody could get their popcorn popped and all that. Let my moderators get nice and cozy, get their wrenches all whip, whip, shined up in case they got a moderator nigga. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we gonna get this thing smoking. So, MacWorld, let's go. What's going on, people? All right, so let's get right into it. First, we gonna talk about Proposition 122. If y'all don't know what Proposition 122 is, Proposition 122 is the proposition to legalize shrooms. Now, I don't know if they're gonna actually go through with it or not. Excuse-moi. But it'd actually be a good idea. We're burpy today, people. Um, it'd be a good idea because it's been proven that they've been using psychedelics like mushrooms and things like that to cure depression. Um, it's natural, something you can grow. You could actually grow shrooms yourself. Don't ask me how I know. I just know a guy. But you could grow them yourself. They good for you. Um, she said we don't want that, so you better behave yourself. Oh yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. But nah, as far as the shrooms go and everything like that, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing. They talking about legalizing them in Colorado, one of the pioneers of the marijuana legalization or cannabis. Someone told me in my chat marijuana is a racist term. I never heard that. Let me know. If one of y'all know about that, comment in the comments if marijuana is racist or not. I always thought it was safe. I figured weed was racist. It's like calling that shit like a fucking invasive species and shit like that. I figured it might offend cannabis enthusiasts. But I guess marijuana is the racist one. Shit, I don't know. Shit. I'm not racist, you know what I mean? So I guess it don't really matter to me. But they are on the cutting edge of the legalization of it. Colorado. And so they moving on the shrooms too. So let's check it out. I'm gonna let Trevor Noah, he funny, they tell the news. The late night shows, they do it in a funny way. So I said, yeah, let's watch Trevor Noah talk about Prop 182. Let's go.
Not all that close, and it's a real trip.
We are still watching Proposition 122, which appears likely to pass.
122, I know. Don't say nothing, K.
And if it does, Colorado would essentially legalize psychedelic mushrooms. Passing the proposition would decriminalize personal possession right away, and then it would allow licensed medical facilities to administer the natural medicine starting in 2024.
Yeah, that's right. After being one of the first states to legalize marijuana, Colorado is now one of the first states to legalize mushrooms. And I think it's great. I think it is. Yeah, because of creating instead of creating a drug underworld, Colorado's bringing everything out into the open, You can legalize it, you can regulate it. It's like those parents who give their kids wine with dinner, It's like, yeah, I'd rather they be drunk in front of me because it's safer. And also it's funny to watch them bumping into things. Go, look at you, Tyler. And I know right now there's some people seeing this law going into effect and they're panicking. They're like, shrooms? Well, are going to be legal? What? And I'm like, but hey, just relax. Breathe. You're going to be just fine. Just drink more water and listen to some Enya, okay? Enya. That's a weird name. I'm freaking out again. But personally, I'm all for drug laws getting less restrictive. And if they do officially legalize shrooms, I'm also excited for their next ballot measure. Why are my hands so big? Now, if we had more time, we could talk about whether the acceptance of recreational drug use can lead to increased understanding of the therapeutic value of psychedelics, or how weird it is that drugs are like the one illegal thing we get to vote on to make legal, Why don't we legalize jaywalking, or even better, jay driving? Why do the pedestrians have the sidewalks all for themselves, huh? Well, we don't have the time for any of that, because while the US is abandoning the war on drugs, Ukraine is still fighting its war with Russia. And its leader...
So yeah, Prop 182. We ain't gonna get into Zelensky and all that shit, right? But yeah, Prop 182 is basically, that's what it's about. It's about the mushrooms. It's about them magic mushrooms, as they call them psilocybin cubensis. I don't know if any of y'all ever tripped on shrooms before. Uh, if you haven't, I would say that you should try it. Uh, you know, within the confines of a safe environment. With somebody who has already experienced it. Don't just go out and get a mushroom and just throw it in your mouth. Like, do your research on them, and you'll be surprised, cause they do have some good benefits. Um, and I'm not gonna get real deep scientific on it like that, but one of the main things about mushrooms where people take them not so much as a recreational drug, which they do got recreational use to them, is that some people like them for like spiritual type of reasons. They like they're psychedelic, so they use it more for the metaphysical values of it, and they like that trip. They like to use them to meditate. It's not necessarily, how they'll show it on a movie where somebody will take mushrooms and they'll see somebody on like a unicorn or something. It's not necessarily like that. Like, in all actuality, the way it work is more like mind expanding. So you know how they say that we use a certain percentage of our brain. I think they said like 10%. I would say the feeling of like with mushrooms is like you using a lot more of your brain power. So colors will just seem brighter. Things that you didn't really understand before, you will like understand quicker. It's more of a psychedelic experience. Um, it gives you a sense of awareness and connection. And one of the things where the main theme of people using them is to experience something they call ego death. And ego death is like you are disconnected with the concept of you um being an individual, and you start to see yourself as part of the all of existence and see where you belong, where and why you belong. And that's deep, and that's what some people need, because that's what some people don't know. They don't know, like, damn, what make me who I am? Is it the brand I wear? Is it the way I got my hair? Is it this color or this gang I represent? Is it like, whatever? That's your ego talking. So take some shrooms, experience ego death. Apparently, allegedly, I'll say, and see where it take you. That's why when I put when I put the thumbnail on Facebook, I said Proposition 122 might save the country, but on my actual YouTube thumbnail, I put it's a trip. And the reason I put it might save the country is because, man, that's what's the problem. All this division. Um, if we started to look at more ways of how we relate to each other instead of all the ways of how we different from each other, and then try to, quantify it and qualify it, like, well, everything that's different is what make me better. It might not be better, it's just different. You know what I mean? So you got to think about it like that. But so Prop 122 pass, everybody start to take shrooms, they start to normalize, and people start to looking at each other different. Like, you know what? We are part of the whole, man. So kid got the lip zip. You funny. Yeah. But nah, so it's just something that I would be interested to see how it develops as it picks up steam and people start to um be more familiar with it. Now I say this, Mom, if you watching this, I was right. I told you. When I first was telling my mom about mushrooms and the qualities of them. It's a real good video on YouTube that called The Spirit Molecule. You should look that up. The Spirit Molecule. It talk about psilocybin and DMT and different stuff like that. It was a real good documentary on Netflix about mushrooms too. I could, if I find it, I will post the name of it. I will hashtag it in the description, in the video description. But Mom, I was right. I told you. I said that people now drink regularly. It's a regular thing to drink, right? Let me see. Baby Heineken right here. Look at this little bitty Heineken. uh, but nah, so people drink now, right? As recreational. And the thing used to be to have like smoking was the thing that was like that step up kind of recreational thing that was looked at as being a little bit more taboo or whatever you want to, however you want to call it, risque, if you will. You know what I mean? But now everybody smoke, and you got vape pens, and you got CBDs, and you got edibles, and all that, and it's a whole culture, and it done got cool with moms, and moms like edibles, and you know what I'm saying? Kids like THC vapes. It's like weed for everybody, so it's not a thing no more like that. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it now is mushrooms are what weed used to be. Weed is about to be, and marijuana, cannabis is about to be the new alcohol. Like it's just gonna be regular. Something like people will just smoke, and it'll be to the point where it's almost like with. And I remember when somebody said this on a documentary. I was on a documentary about different strains of weed. When they said this, I was kind of tripping about it at the time, but now it make perfect sense. They were like, weed is gonna be like drinking. It's gonna be as common as like drinking or having a beer or something like that. And now I see it because yeah, it's commercialized. It's not stigmatized like it used to be anymore. So the next thing to where we really stepping up to, like I said, is those mushrooms. You know what I'm saying? The mushrooms are gonna be what the weed was, you know? And that's where we going with it now, people. We going to the magic mushrooms. And yeah, I just think that it's a good thing. I think it's a positive thing. Oh, so just so you know a little bit of background on them. Um what you looking at right now, what I'm showing you on the screen, these are what psilocybin cubensis look like, but they are actually dried out because they are real organic mushrooms. So you can't just sit them out like you would, like how you could probably leave some weed sitting out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do that shit because they'll rot. Motherfuckers are rot. They really organic. So they dry. You got to store them in a nice, cool, dry place and all that, and so on and so forth, right? And yeah, that's what you got to do. So shout out to Prop 122. I hope it get passed, and I hope they really get a sense of what people want. If people want it passed, I hope they listening to the people, and you know what I'm saying, not just saying like, well, nah, we not gonna do it. You gotta listen. I think government officials should always never lose sight of the fact that you representing the people. You're not just up there doing what the fuck you want to do. We'll get your ass out of there, or we'll try. You know what I'm saying? But do what the people want. And speaking of doing what the people want, if somebody would have told Mark Zuckerberg that, then he would have saved himself 700 $1 billion, because this nigga messed around and lost a bunch of money. So I want to talk about this, right? But I want to talk about it in context, um about an underlying issue with him losing this money. I actually found a real good video breaking down the whole situation with metaverse, and he actually talked about some of the things that put into context what my problem was as a whole, but he talked about it with this specific situation. So I'm gonna go to that, and we gonna check it out, and I'm gonna let y'all see what he said. If y'all never heard of Young Yeah before, this Young right here, he got a good channel. If you keep up with like games, gaming news, and all that, the developers, um, the everything like around gaming, like developers in different countries, new IPs, everything like that, then this is a good channel for you. So shout out to Young, yeah. And yeah, let's go.
Meta, a company that's been flailing as of late because of its failed metaverse endeavors that's seen them sink billions upon billions of dollars into a project that has not gained a whole lot of traction. And on top of that, just the general growth of the company has been stifled, and the economic state of the world is not helping things either. And that's resulted in Mark Zuckerberg sending this message to Meta employees, where he's essentially informed them that a huge portion of the workforce will be laid off. I've decided to reduce the size of our team by about 13% and let more than 11,000 of our talented employees go. We're also taking a number of additional steps to become a leaner and more efficient company by cutting discretionary spending and extending our hiring freeze through Q1. Nothing about Meta spending has been discreet, especially where the Reality Labs division, which deals in the VR headsets and the metaverse, is concerned. We're talking about dozens of billions that have gone into this thing that is really not working out. He says, I want to take accountability for these decisions and for how we got here, except the ones who are actually held accountable were the over 11,000 employees who were let go. How exactly?
So he hit right there on what my issue is with, this situation, this capitalism situation. These are fucking lives we talking about. These 11,000 people that he let go, these are real lives. These ain't just, for him, it's just numbers. It's like, okay, where could I cut money at? I fucked up. Where could I cut money at? I'm going to cut it on labor. And they look at it on the spreadsheet like labor costs, what they got to pay people. That's people's whole livelihoods. So you go off on this passion project, this admitted passion project, this admitted gamble you're taking. With this corporate statement, he basically said he felt like he could take the gamble because of the amount of profits that he was bringing in during the pandemic. You not smart enough to see past the pandemic and see that that's going to shift the amount of profits that you bringing in? Like, come on, man. You expect me to believe that? But it is what it is, Zuckerberg. You just want to do what you wanted to do. I kept up with this situation a little bit with Meta and all that, and I think Young gonna talk about it a little bit more. But Mark Zuckerberg, he knew this shit wasn't gonna do real good. He was trying to force it. It's like for a long time. He was trying to force it, and he knew the feedback that he was getting as a professional from professionals was letting him know it wasn't gonna do that good. But you the boss and it's your passion project, and it come to one of those things of like, do I really gotta do what's best for the company? Cause I am the fucking company. I'm the boss. And then what happened is, and this is where my problem come in at, right? What happened is when you get done fucking up and you do finally admit that you wrong, you don't really admit that you wrong. You say, oops, I miscalculated. And oh, by the way, all y'all are fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are fired. I fucked up. I burnt the money up. But since I'm the boss, guess what? Y'all are fired. The same people that was telling them not to do the shit get fired. It's crazy, man. $700 billion down the drain. That's gross capitalism. That shit is disgusting. Let's go.
Has Mark Zuckerberg taken accountability and responsibility for the situation that he caused through his poor leadership? Has he faced any sort of consequence outside of the things that he can't control, like the stock price dipping and his value dipping with it? He proceeds to explain how he got here. He states that at the start of COVID, the world rapidly moved online, and the surge of e-commerce led to outsized revenue growth. Many people predicted this would be a permanent acceleration that would continue even after the pandemic ended. I did too, so I made the decision to significantly increase our investments. Unfortunately, this did not play out the way I expected. Not only has online commerce returned to prior trends, but the macroeconomic downturn, increased competition, and ad signal loss have caused our revenue to be much lower than I'd expected. I got this wrong, and I take responsibility for that. Just saying you're taking responsibility doesn't mean you're actually taking responsibility. Again, the ones who actually faced the brunt of this whole situation were the over 11,000 employees who were let go. People who are not responsible for Mark Zuckerberg's woeful miscalculations and Mark Zuckerberg's misguided commitment to this metaverse thing that nobody seems to want. A pursuit so piss poor in its execution that it feels like it has single-handedly sunk Meta to lows not.
Listen, your company, one of the biggest companies in the world, lost $700 billion. $700 billion. $700 billion. Not $1 billion. Not $2 billion. Not 3, not 4, not 5. Not $10 billion. Not 20. Not 100 billion. Not 200 billion. Not 300 billion. This fool lost, if we rounding up from the figure family that he's in, which is billions, that he's deep into by the hundreds, we round that up, he lost upwards of $1 trillion. $1 trillion, man. That's crazy. Y'all can't imagine that shit, man. It ain't never supposed to be like that. It should never be like that. It ain't never supposed to be like that. You hear me? And the reason I say that is because anybody that would be in that position, again, part of my problem with it, anybody in that position on anywhere on the planet that loses a company $700 billion shouldn't be in charge of that company no more. You know, but it's like, well, it's his company, right? Okay, well, let's put it like this. It's his company, so fuck it. He can lose as much money as he wants to, right? But it should be a clause or a law or some type of legislation or something that you can't lay people off, especially for a decision that was unilateral, meaning you made the decision by yourself. And the consequences have to be suffered by 11,000 people that might have been working for Facebook for years. You know what I mean? So it's fucked up, man. The way capitalism works, it's just it's legal slavery. That's what it is. You know what I mean? But he fumbled the shit out the bag. But beyond that, it's just the fact that they approach to it. How they could never really, you ever see a company fuck up and it'll be like on account of the management. But what end up happening is they just start to firing people on the ground, like the workers, and just say they under new management or like they changing new management, new look, whatever they saying is new, or some shit like that. But for the most part, the people up top who made the decisions, they not the ones that suffer though. And that's the fucked up part about the shit, right? So yeah, let's talk about it some more. Let's see what else he got to say.
Not seen for many, many years. And it's not as if Mark Zuckerberg is showing signs of course correction. He seems to want to double, triple down on this metaverse endeavor. In no way, shape, or form has he really taken true accountability or responsibility. He's just saying the words as empty platitudes because it's what he needs to say. He continued to highlight other cost-saving methods that the company's employed. We've shifted more of our resources onto a smaller number of high-priority growth areas. We have cut costs across our business. But these measures alone won't bring our expenses in line with our revenue growth, so I've made the hard decision to let people go. To be clear, it's not that Meta can't afford to keep these employees around, they just wouldn't service what is the ultimate goal of a corporation like Meta: revenue growth. It's not about what is absolutely necessary, it's about bookkeeping. It's about making sure that their next financial results look a certain way. Now, the employees who are getting laid off do seem to be getting a generous severance package. He says right here that there is no good way to do a layoff, but we hope to get all of the relevant information to you as quickly as possible and then do what beginning of this is off by insisting that the future is to make sure we are deeply under keep growing and leading and developing the Meta announcement made 13% of staff. And then scrolling down, it is highlighted how the company has lost more than 70% of its value this year. Though it is noted that Meta isn't the only tech company that have announced steep layoffs recently. To
70% of the company's value in a year. It say for real. K said he got money to re-strategize, but he choose to fire people. Gross fucking negligence. Exactly. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, that shit is disgusting. Knowing that it's no law against, that could be anybody. Shit. That could be anybody job. You don't know what your boss doing. He get a gambling problem. He go fuck off a bunch of the company money, and he decide, you know what? I'm gonna take responsibility for this. Y'all fired. Everybody fired. That's not responsibility. That's, man, stepping on, that's cushioning your fall with people's fucking livelihood, dude. And nobody, I ain't gonna say nobody ain't calling them out on it, because that's what Young doing right now, calling his ass out. But I think it should be something more done about that shit, though. Like, something to make sure that they can't just do it, because this is the norm, not the exception. This is what the fuck companies do. It's just, so what I'm tripping off of more than anything is that he got in so deep, um with in debt, and, like, you know what I mean, like, he got in so deep as far as before he turned around and did something different. But what he did different wasn't really doing nothing different, though. He just start firing motherfuckers. That's any boss fuck up, start firing people, man. Like, yeah, we under new management. Yeah, all right, I bet. Y'all not under new ownership, though. The owner still fucking up. And once the owner fucking up, like, see, Mark Zuckerberg, that's why you came up with Facebook. You not a tech dude, bro. You came up with a nice platform, social media platform. He say, dang, they already on my boy about that gas. I don't know what you talking about, Fresh. Uh, but nah, Mark Zuckerberg. Nah, that's my mama. She told me not to. She ain't want me smoking. YouTube ain't. If you talking about that, if you talking about because I said I wasn't smoking and shit, that ain't YouTube or no shit like that. YouTube could kiss my frosty black ass. You know what I'm saying? But also, don't kiss my ass because I need my channel monetized, not shadow banned. So don't kiss too much of it. Just kiss the part, the outer part. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but for real though, it's just crazy though how it get like that though, because the management fuck up and just start firing people, and that's how it is. That's just how it always. That's just the way it is. But they need to change that shit though, and especially in this day and age, and to this extent, to see somebody losing that much and then firing that many people. This is all in 1 year he did this. This ain't something that happened over time. So you know it's some more firings coming, but I guess that's the amount of money he lost is bad, but the overall handling of the situation ain't as bad as my next story though. Cause both of these tie right together. So the overall handling of the situation ain't as bad as my next story. So I gotta let my boo You know what I'm saying? I gotta let my boo, my baby, Anna, talk about it. And tell y'all about what's going on with Elon Musk. Let's go.
Elon Musk has begun the rollout of Twitter's new $8 per month verification program, and it's unsurprisingly a mess.
Oh yeah, just in case y'all didn't know, Twitter, she gonna break it down, but Twitter start trying to charge $8 a month for people to get a blue check. This idiot, you know, he's supposed to be this big visionary and all that, but that's what I be saying. It be these motherfuckers' ego and they position. That's it. Don't nothing they do be proven. Everything they ideas they come up with don't even be well thought out. For the shit that he thought about, like just make anybody pay. A verified profile is supposed to be to assure that an influential person is who they say they are. So you get a certain amount of followers and then you get your profile verified. A verified profile get priority on Twitter, partly because you have that many followers to get verified. Elon Musk tried to make it seem like he wanted to equalize that and make it like, oh, Twitter is free for everybody. I don't want there to be any type of hierarchy. But really, you know what? What he really wanted to do was make some money, because when he did the valuation, he found out he got overcharged for Twitter by some billions. Twitter ain't making money. Twitter was losing money. Twitter was losing money. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny the way Twitter started losing money. But I'm going to let my baby talk about it some more, though, because she's a journalist. And, you know, I'm just a YouTuber. So I'm going to let my boo talk about it. Let's go.
Chaos on Twitter. And he knows it too. In fact, he has disclosed to his team and his employees that the likelihood of bankruptcy looms. It's a big possibility. Can't wait. Now, let me give you the details on what's currently happening. So honestly, you can't go too far on Twitter anymore without seeing a fake account pretending to be a politician, brand, or even the Pope. And they're verified accounts because you can pay for verification. So let's give you a few examples, starting with a fake Giuliani account that looks like the real Giuliani account, and it has the verification mark and everything. I stand with Kyrie Irving and Kanye West because George Soros once pushed me down in the street and I was stuck on the back, on my back like a turtle for several minutes, which is a really funny visual, to be honest with you.
I would have thought they would do that with the Mitch McConnell fake account rather than the Giuliani one.
True, true.
But fair. But the thing.
That's fucking hilarious. He said he got pushed on his back and he was stuck. It's stuck like a turtle. Ain't nobody gonna put that on no fucking Twitter, man. If you know Rudy Giuliani and how he looked, the visual of that is funny as fuck. But dog will tell some stories like that though. Like he got patted on the back by somebody he ain't know, but they called him an asshole or something like that. So he turned around and tried to act like the pat on the back almost broke his back and he had to get surgery, like spinal surgery and shit. So dog will probably say some shit like, yeah, they pushed me over and I was on my back like a turtle on my shell or some dumbass shit like that. Like, dog, that's funny as a motherfucker. Let's go.
Thing is, when you got the Rudy Giuliani account, like, how do you know which one's real and which one's fake? Because Giuliani says such insane things that it was like, I thought, wait, is this the real Giuliani? Because it might be. Like, I literally had told you a story for the members in the bonus episode the other day. I think I did. Where I was talking to someone in New York and they saw Giuliani recently. He'd blocked all this traffic on 44th Street. And they're like, what's going on? They finally see it's Giuliani. He's in the middle of the street yelling at everybody. And yelling at traffic. Like, these guys have literally lost their goddamn minds. So could that be Giuliani that wrote that? Maybe, but in this case, it turns out it isn't.
Does no one in Giuliani's life love him? Like, why isn't anyone looking out for him?
Look at him. I mean, how do you love any of these guys? Does anyone in Trump's life love him? No. The definitive answer is absolutely not. And he doesn't love them. That's why they do insane things like this.
Well, here's another fake Twitter account posing as Ben Shapiro. Although this one would be even more difficult to determine fake, right? Because this is totally believable. And talking about genitalia.
That's another one where I was like, why is he writing that? But I guess, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
But that's literally what Matt Walsh does all the time, right?
Yeah.
On his show publicly. So that's totally believable. But no, that is not a real Ben Shapiro Twitter account. Nintendo of America is another fake account. And he
gave Mario giving the middle finger. Now he's gonna get sued. This is gonna be a total disaster.
Then you have I love this one. So it says Pope Francis real, except it's not. Pointy flex, I love that, or Pontiflex. Bitches, I'm in France, popping bottles, getting high, and loving every minute.
Imagine Pope puts that out. I become Catholic
all of a sudden, yeah.
Okay, that's best
converting. Yeah. And then. So what is Elon doing about this issue, right? Like people are freaking out about it. This is a business that he overpaid for to the tune of like $20 billion.
Maybe $44 billion, because I'm about to tell you how he's gonna go bankrupt.
Right, one person had tweeted, a verified Mario gave everyone the middle finger and President Biden is talking about, pleasuring himself.
I'm just saying, Twitter is a disaster. That's the president they talking about is talking about that on Twitter now. Come on, man. Hold on. Let Sin say it. Twitter is going down the drain. Let's go.
And Elon Musk just laughs at it. He just laughs at it.
Yeah. Nothing wrong here. Nothing to see.
And Elon's proposed solution to the problem was to forbid verified accounts from, now I finally understand what this was about, okay? So remember, we had done a story earlier where Elon Musk said no one should change their display name. And if they do, to change your display name to impersonate people, right? And if you do, we'll take away your verification status or whatever. But that led to some other issues. For instance, I guess to celebrate the holidays, Doja Cat had changed her display name to Christmas, but then wanted to change it back to like whatever it was before and was like, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. She's like, I don't want to be Christmas forever, Elon Musk, please help. I've made a mistake. This is all so stupid and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Like, dude just came in changing minor, small shit that really didn't need to be changed, just probably because he didn't understand why it was the way it was. And then it fucked up. Like, he fucked shit up. It's like somebody coming in your house and they see something that look unusual, like they see a chair out of place or they see a window open or something in the kitchen or just anything, any type of way. But it been like that and they don't got no business touching it. It don't got nothing to do with them. Your house is fine, you fine, everything is going fine. But they just come in, why is this window open? And just close the window and then fuck something up. You know what I'm saying? It'd be something you had on the windowsill, a pie on the windowsill or some shit like that. Or maybe you was waiting on the window to get fixed and it was, you didn't want to close it for whatever reason. Now they just shattered it or something like that, you know. That's how Elon Musk did. He came in looking around at shit that he didn't understand why it was set up the way it was set up. He wouldn't have did it that way. So he just figured, you know what, I'ma just change it just cause. But they say like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Burn, Twitter, burn. And it's not about Elon Musk, right? Like whatever, I have my critiques of Elon Musk, but that's not really the issue here. Twitter has been such a toxic force in our society. And if Elon Musk succeeds in destroying it, I might be an Elon Musk fan. I'm
That's
not even
ironic.
kidding. I'm being serious.
Okay, so now I'll tell you how he might have destroyed Twitter and maybe even his own fortune. Are you ready for this? First of all,
I'm so ready.
Yeah, Elon Musk's personal
I'm
net
ready.
worth over the last couple of months has gone down by $100 billion. Okay,
Elon Musk net worth in, hold on. Did he say over the last couple months? Let me go back.
yeah, Elon Musk's personal net worth over the last couple of months has gone down by $100 billion.
Wow. Now, that's a little different than Mark Zuckerberg because Mark Zuckerberg's company lost 700 billion worth of his value, which is 70%. Um so he still in dollar amounts, he still got a lot left, you know, as far as what the company is worth. If that's 70% of the value, 700 billion, it's still worth 300 billion. But they did 88 billion in ad revenue in a year. So he'll be all right, but also people getting ad blockers. And I didn't get to that part on the video with where they talked about Facebook, but a lot of their revenue dropped because now iPhones have a thing where you can opt out of people tracking you, and that's a lot of that was where Facebook got their money off of tracking people's data and selling advertising. So now that they can't track people, it's easy no more with the new iPhone app. They lost a lot of money. And yeah, so it's crazy. Let's go.
Okay, so the whole, I told you, I
100
literally
billion
told you
is
this a little
fucking
while
nuts,
ago. I
though.
said he ain't
A
the richest man
personal
in the
one.
world. Okay, they say, oh, literally told you this a little while ago. I said he ain't the richest man in the world. Okay, they say, oh yeah, he's above Bezos. Remember when I said
I
that?
do, yeah.
I said he's a total fraud. It's a house of cards. And poof, there goes $100 billion.
Okay.
It's mainly because of the devaluation of the Tesla stock.
Yes.
Because partly because they're beginning to realize, oh, the guy running Tesla is mentally unstable.
Yes, okay, so there's that, but there's also the fact that now
Oh, just in case y'all don't know, Tesla, right? People make a big deal out of Tesla, like Elon Musk, some type of big genius and shit like that, right? But Elon Musk just sold 19 million shares of Tesla. He's selling the fuck out of his own stock. And I see why from what they just said. They said they devalued the stock. And he said it's because they figured out, like, man, this nigga nuts. He ain't no big revolutionary tech genius. Like, he a nutcase. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Let's go.
Twitter is like drowning in like a lot of debt, right? That he
Yeah, so let me explain this part.
Yes.
Okay, so he buys Twitter for $44 billion. I explained before, not only was it overvalued by at least $22 billion, because that was kind of the where the market had it at its height. But in reality, we did the math on it, and at most it's worth $9 billion. Okay, so he overpaid by 35 to begin with, in my opinion, and by the opinion of people who work in finance, for what that's worth. Okay, so now though it's has an excellent chance of being zero. And so I said that in the production meeting today, and then Elon Musk sent out an email later in the day saying we might be bankrupt soon. Okay, so let me tell you a couple of reasons why.
Genius Elon Musk. Everybody, he's a genius. He's the richest genius. Man, these is regular fucking people, man. Come on now. These are regular people. $100 billion of his personal net worth gone. And Twitter about to be bankrupt, about to file for bankruptcy, bruh. Sheesh. I'm talking about call somebody take over some shit, run it into the ground because of their ego. He needs some shrooms. We need to pass Prop 122. Get him some shrooms. kill his ego, right? So he can make some good decisions. Cause damn, boy, fucking $100 billion down the drain. Ooh, that's crazy.
Number one, first on the finance part of it, he borrowed $13 billion to be able to execute the transaction because he just paid too much. As much money as he had, he doesn't have he has most of the money in stock, in Tesla stock. So he's not liquid, he doesn't have the cash on him. So he paid some in cash, he borrowed money from his douchey right-wing friends who are all going to lose money, which is awesome.
God,
they're
this
going to
story is
lose
just
billions.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes,
Christmas
this is
came
like
early.
the best debacle of all time.
Yes.
Okay, I mean this is Trump melting down and Elon Musk losing billions of dollars for him and his right-wing friends. This is as good as it gets.
And
okay?
he wonders why I've been in a good mood for the last 2 days.
Totally.
Yeah.
So then on top of that though, he had to borrow $13 billion to finish the deal. The interest payment, and he's paying like 8%, which is sky high.
That's right.
That's crazy high. Okay, so that's what I'm hearing in the reporting. So his interest payments alone are about $1 billion a year. Twitter only makes at its height $700 million a year. His interest payment is larger than their revenue, not their profits. It's larger than their revenue.
I don't know if y'all know about loans, but if he borrowed $13 billion and his interest payment is $1 billion a year on just the interest, that means he fucked over because he's not putting nothing on the principal then. Heineken. Cause he ain't putting nothing on the principal then if the interest payment is not even getting covered and he coming up 300 million short. See, that's the thing, man. People will tell you they got all this money, but they tell you how much money they got. They don't tell you how much money they spend. Golly. Ooh, that's a lot. That is a lot of money. We ain't going out like that, boy. I tell you. That's crazy. But you know what time it is, y'all? It's 2 o'clock right on the dot. If you ain't hit that like button, go ahead, hit that like button. If you ain't subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate you, and I invite you to subscribe to MacWorld Media. We only getting better and better. We going up, you know, like my boy Fresh like to say. Shout out to my moderators, Kia, Fresh, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Check out the show every day. And yeah, man, y'all enjoy y'all weekend. It look like it's nice. At least it look nice. Shit, it might be a little chilly out there, a little frosty. I'll get out here today, do my due diligence. And yeah, you know, next week, more topics. We be back again. Appreciate all the support. Shout out to Below the Belt. Shout out to Mac Buddy Gaming, AM Sports Media, Money Brown TV, ETB Sports, everybody. My boy say coming with his band from TV podcast. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to my boy Marquise, man. Everybody working, all the content creators, man. Appreciate y'all. And I'm out. Shit. Later.